From the moment Mike Piazza put on a Mets hat, he had New York captivated. He brought star power. He turned the franchise into a World Series contender and became the greatest hitting catcher in history. Now he reaps the benefits of that hard work. Mike Piazza has achieved baseball immortality. Piazza is now enshrined into baseball's Hall of Fame. He goes in with Ken Griffey Jr., who was the first #1 draft pick to make it to Cooperstown. That means the highest pick and the lowest pick earned their bids to the Hall in the same year. Our Otis Livingston spent the day in Cooperstown and has more on Piazza and Griffey.
Mike Piazza, Ken Griffey Jr., both Hall of Famers, but they came into the major leagues in very different ways. Griffey Jr., #1 overall pick. Piazza drafted in the 62nd round. Only 43 players were picked after him in the 1988 draft. Defying all odds, Piazza went on to become the greatest home run hitting catcher in major league history and earning his way into baseball's most exclusive club. Along with Ken Griffey Jr., the number of Hall of Famers grows to 312. As you'd expect, it was an emotional time for Piazza, who thanked many people, including former teammates, coaches, and fans, but saved his most poignant moments for when he talked about his father, Vince, the man who pushed him to greatness.
My father's faith in me, often greater than my own, is the single most important factor of me being inducted into this Hall of Fame. Thank you, Dad.
And, of course, we can't talk about Mike Piazza without talking about what he did 10 days after 9/11. And, of course, Piazza's answered hundreds, maybe thousands of questions about that home run. But here's the thing. It felt like this was the first time we were able to hear Piazza take that conversation in the direction he wanted. And it seemed like his overwhelming emotion that night was far from joyous.
Yeah, I mean, he talked about that night. You know, he explained about the home run and what it meant to him, what it meant to people. You know, he was talking about in his post-induction press conference, he talked about a man stopping him on the airplanes. He was sitting there, he had his headphones on, and someone tapped him on the shoulder, and he knew what it was going to be about, but the man spoke about losing his brother, saying that he was at that game and what it meant for him that Mike Piazza was able to hit that home run. So it puts it all into perspective.
The defining moment of Mike Piazza's amazing Hall of Fame career, and now he can, as he said in his speech, sit back and smell the roses. Otis Livingston, thank you so much. The Yankees have now won 9 of their last 14, and all against teams who were in first place at the time. A list that includes the Indians, the Red Sox, the Orioles, now the San Francisco Giants. Carlos Beltran and Mark Teixeira each knocked out a pair in the first and second innings. New York added 3 more in the 6th, capped off by Didi Gregorius' ground rule double. The Yankees are 33-6 this year when they score at least 5 runs. And runs have been hard to come by for the Yankees, but they've offset that with great pitching and great defense. Yankees win 5-2, and one more note, the latest reports say the Yanks are close to dealing Aroldis Chapman to the Cubs for a top prospect. And we welcome back our friend and the voice of the Yankee Spanish broadcast, Ricky Ricardo, joining us once again. Ricky, good to have you in here, man.
Pleasure to be back.
All right, and it's time to talk Yankees because we are now a week away, or at least about a week away, I should say, from the trading deadline. If they sell Chapman, that doesn't necessarily mean the Yankees are sellers, right?
Well, I mean, it's the way you look at it. When these 3 pitchers together, Betances, Miller, and Chapman, have all pitched in the same game, this team is 19-2.
Right.
And that includes a 12-inning loss on Saturday to the Giants, where all 3 participated, not in that order, because they tried to avoid using Betances on Saturday afternoon, ended up having to use him because of the length of the game. You say it's dealing from a position of strength. Now, do you want to weaken something very unique that is your strength? Remember, the underbelly of this bullpen has not been very dependable. The Yankees win games when their starters get them through the 6th inning and they have a lead, and they can use that no-runs DMC, as the T-shirts say, with Betances, Miller, and Chapman. Now, do you want to mess with that formula by eliminating one of those guys of that triple threat that you have there? Remember, it just so happens the Yankees will be at home at their headquarters. They're based in Tampa. That weekend before the trade deadline, everybody's going to be there. The team is going to be in Tampa. The brain trust.
This is going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be, I mean, the focus will be on Tampa next weekend in Yankee land, because they're right there where they're based in headquarters.
He is the radio play-by-play voice of the Spanish broadcast for the New York Yankees. Ricky Ricardo, thank you so much for coming in.
It's been a pleasure, Steve.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
zero in on a knee.